Alright, today I want to talk about the top 15 Ascensions in MCOC, and I'm doing this because we get our next Ascension tomorrow, which is a massive deal, right? This is our second ever Ascension, so it is really important to make the right choice. But a quick disclaimer, two of them actually. I believe that the best Ascension is your favorite champion. My first Ascension was Mole Man, and I do not regret that in the slightest, and now my second one can be a top of the game character, though Mole Man is one of those anyway, so yeah. But like I was saying, your best Ascension is your favorite champion. If you already did that, then you can just look for a top 15 Ascension, which I'll cover today. And yeah, while ascending your favorite champion is, I think the best thing to do, ascending a top 15 champion is also really smart, so let's cover that today. But one more thing, all the gameplay in this video is from the Content Creator Program beta. Yes, I am now in the Content Creator Program. Pretty massive news to just drop on you in this video, but I'll cover it in a separate video, like as its own topic. But just keep in mind the gameplay is not from my account, and it is all maxed out 6-star characters but not ascended. So hopefully the background gameplay is good and it makes the video better. But now some criteria. So pure attackers are still valued well for sure, but if a champion is a dual threat, which means they are good on both attack and defense, they'll be placed a little bit higher because Battlegrounds is important for sure, and having a champion that is great on both attack and defense is just so valuable for a Battlegrounds focused account, and like Alliance War as well, and just handy in general, right? And additionally, if a champion is unlikely to be a 7-star character or they need max sig, they'll be valued even higher on this list. So keep that in mind for this ranking video. But now let's get started. So number 15 is Kate Bishop, and Kate Bishop is a monstrous character. She is one of the best damage outputs in the entire game, and additionally, in long form content, she is just unreal. She is not a dual threat in the slightest, but she is just a very strong attacker, and her versatility with the Cold Snap and the Caltrops, which is a completely new mechanic, is insane. Her reach is one of the best in the game, and in Battlegrounds and Alliance War, she just has so much use, and she is a monstrous quester as well. And with Everest content coming soon with the Necropolis, she will be a very good option. I'm predicting, right? I know nothing about it, so I'm just guessing there, but with, the health pools being that high, I imagine Kate Bishop gets a ton of use in that piece of content, so maybe I make a list afterwards and she ranks even higher. But for now, number 15, great champion, more of an attacker purely, but still has a ton of use on the attack spectrum. So that is number 15, and number 14 is going to be Tigra. Tigra is one of the best champions in the game when it comes to buff control and just overall DPS. She is a monstrous damage dealer, and while she is pretty much a nothing defender, she makes up for it with being, in my opinion, the best mystic attacker in the game. And for so many reasons, right? Her ruptures are, in my opinion, the rarest form of damage output. Well, not even in my opinion, just flat out, right? Because how do you stop it? You can only stop it by having immunity to it, which only Scorpion does, I believe, and Silk somewhat. And additionally, having some physical resistance. But besides those two things, it is so hard to stop Tigra, and it's been like that for a very long time now. So Tigra isn't going anywhere, she is just getting stronger actually. So this character is easily one of the best Ascensions out there, and she is definitely number 14 on this list. So now we have number 13, and number 13 is Valkyrie. This character is broken on all accounts. She has access to this mechanic where she just hits the opponent's block, she gains power, and she can cheese so much with it, man. She can cheese hazard shift. She's just great for a lot of characters that have really annoying special attacks because she minimizes the power gain from them by just hitting block. It is just a broken ability, and besides that, she has Purify, she has some very strong Pierce, and she is just a crazy character when it comes to versatility. It's really hard to stop Valkyrie, and for that reason, that is why she is like a top 3 skill attacker, arguably top 2. arguably the best, right? So that is just how strong this character is, and as time progresses, she just keeps on getting better, especially as players figure out her potential, right? But like I was saying, she is a very attack-focused character. She has pretty much no defensive capabilities in the slightest. She is just mainly for attack, which does make her lose some points, but she is still super good and a great Ascension, especially for like your first or second ever one. So that is number 13. And number 12 is Kitty Pryde. So Kitty Pryde can honestly be like a top 5 one, to be honest, but I have her at number 12 because her defensive value has kind of fallen off big time, and on attack, she is still amazing, right? She cheeses so much stuff, and she is just such a strong character, but the mutant class in general hasn't been needed as much, right? Because you have champions like Sunspot who are just ripping apart the contest in like 1SP2, right? But Kitty Pryde still has that massive versatility with that phase mechanic, and having her at like a rank 2-esque level, she becomes a monstrous just utility and damage powerhouse. So I feel like she is a great Ascension, and of course she will never be a 7-star character. She is just way too good for that, like utility wise and cheese wise. So I feel like if you want a good Ascension, this is your girl to go with. And yeah, number 12 could be so much higher, right? But number 11 is Ghost, and another character that can be so much higher because this champion is never going to see the 7-star level in her life. This character is broken, right? You want to dislike her, that's fine, but you have to admit that she is the second or third best champion in the game, probably, like on attack only, right? Because on defense, she is a nothing burger. But her attack value is so strong, and while she does fall out of meta sometimes, she still just finds her way back into it given how broken she is in like Alliance War, and at rank 2, 7-star level, probably Battlegrounds as well. So yeah, this character, a great Ascension, and so is number 10, Gallon. Now this is the part where like these characters have both defensive and attack value, and Gallon is one of those champions. This man is crazy, right? He has the Harvest, and the Harvest is one of the most broken abilities out there. It just bypasses so much stuff. And as 7-star health pools get higher, Gallon at like a 7-star rank 2 level with Ascension is ready for those higher health pools. So I feel like if you rank up Gallon and ascend him, he will be future proof for a very long time. He will be able to go against those very high health pools that 7 stars are getting, right? So I feel like this is a great future investment, and he is just a powerful character and just so strong. So I feel like Gallon is a great option for sure, and so is number 9, Nimrod. Nimrod is the mutant slayer. He is the reason why mutant defenders aren't really a thing anymore, because he is just that good. But here's the thing, ascending Nimrod will give him that extra firepower to help take non-mutant champions, which he can do at rank 5, but at rank 5 ascended, he can do for sure. And on defense, having that extra firepower as well means more chip damage, means more like health to tank with the cowardice and like the armor ups, and that really annoying power drain. So yeah, Nimrod, great Ascension, and so is number 8, Absorbing Man. This man is cracked, obviously, right? He has such good versatility with his immunity set and his access to the Magma form, the Uru form, and just having some great damage output as well, and also being one of the craziest characters against armor break champions. This man has a ton of use in the game. He is a great defender as well, so having him get increased stats, because his health pool isn't really all that, right? So having more health for him makes him a much better defender, and it really does just help him out a ton on both attack and defense, because on attack, while he is so good in certain matchups, in generic matchups, he doesn't have the best damage output out there, right? But having the ascended stats like help increase his firepower, he will do good in pretty much any matchup that he is brought to. So I feel like Ascended Absorbing Man is a great choice for sure, and just watch as he tears down this gladiator. It is some pretty nice stuff. He is just such a good champion, man. I really appreciate the designer of him as well. Really cool guy. He made K Bishop too, so two bangers in the same video. He'll love to see it. But this is number 8. And now number 7 is Scorpion. Now, Scorpion could be like a top 3 one. He could be a top 2 one even. But what makes him this, I guess, low for me is the fact that Titania and Hulk are just running wild. Those guys are insane. And also, shout out to Human Torch. You can say that Torch and Scorpion are like in the same boat because I feel like they're both just that good. But Scorpion is a lot more annoying on defense. Whenever he is placed, I just cannot stand him. The evade is so annoying to deal with, and giving him more health makes him a lot more menacing on defense. And on attack as well, having him at like a ascended level makes him able to take, rank 2 Sasquatches, rank 2 Mangogs a lot better. So that is why it is important to have him ascended, because as the future goes on and health pools get higher, he will need more reach, and ascending him gives him that reach that is needed. And speaking of high health, we have number 6, which is Rintrah. Rintrah is insane. He is super tanky. He has a lot of damage output. He has some of the best buff control in the game. And last but not least, he has so much health. He is a monstrous defender because of that massive health pool. And adding more stats to that health pool is just brutal. And it is so menacing, and you would just be, the most hated guy ever, right? But hey, he will do work for you on both attack and defense. Giving him more attack rating as well is pretty massive for his reach, because he is like a burst character. So the more attack, the more he can do in like his rotation, which is really, really important to realize, right? So yeah, Rintrah, number 6, and now it's time for the top 5. And number 5 is Future Ant-Man. This dude is a monster. He is so good on attack. He is insane on defense, because how do you even stop this guy, right? You can intercept a ton, which is one way. You can use Hulkling, which is the only way pretty much. And yeah, this dude is so annoying. The glancing is miserable. His health pool is pretty dang high. And if you ascend him, he is going to be so much worse on defense and just even better on attack. He has access to some insane power drain. He is a monstrous two-way character. And adding more firepower to him is honestly illegal. It should be illegal, right? But I feel like he will never be a 7-star character because of how good he is. And even if he was, he really does want Max Sig for that extra immunity set with the bleed and incinerate, I believe. Don't quote me on that, but I think it's those two. But yeah, having those two like pseudo immunities, and also having just a pretty strong failsafe as well, and you combine that with like the ascended stats, this man is just broken on all accounts. So yeah, number 5 for sure. And number 4 is someone that you can say is kind of on the decline, but when you say that, he just proves you wrong instantly, and it is Kingpin. Now, Kingpin is a great two-way champion. He has a ton of health, he is really, really tanky, he has a ton of combat power rate as well, so having all those 3 things, and like the worst AI ever, and this man is pretty brutal on defense. And on attack, he is a monstrous character as well. If there are debuffs, he is insane for those fights, and having an Ascended Kingpin will just add more versatility, right? Because Ascended Kingpin can probably take those fights where there aren't any debuffs at all. And that is why it is important to ascend him, I feel like, because he can take more fights, he'll be more annoying to deal with on defense, he would just be the ultimate package. And I feel like he is just good for every piece of content. He is an insane quester with the survivability, he is great for Battlegrounds, attack and defense, same thing with Alliance War. He really just does have it all, and as time progresses, he might get worse, he might get better. Only time will tell, but with Kingpin, you are getting a great investment when you ascend him. And also, he won't be a 7-star for a while because he is just that good, obviously. So yeah, no worries if you do ascend him. He will not be in the 7-star pool for a very long time, and for a good reason, right? But look at those mediums, man. 16,000. This dude is just crazy on attack. Like, the damage output is a bit nuts. And yeah, now we have number 3, which is Nick Fury. That's right, I put Nick Fury over Kingpin sue me. I think he is just that good. But also, this list isn't necessarily in order. It kind of is, but if it's that bad in order, then just pretend it's not, please. But yeah, Nick Fury is insane. He is a powerhouse on both attack, but on defense, he is insane. He is so crazy. He has 2 health pools, right? So if you add 22% to that health pool, you essentially add like 44%, which is so crazy to think about. And here is the best part. On attack in Battlegrounds, he isn't really all that because of his first life damage output, but giving 22% stats to that damage output really does do a lot for him, and he can be a pretty monstrous damage dealer with those increased stats. And additionally, he is insane for long form content, and I feel like that could be good for any future Everest content. So Nick Fury is insane. He's always been insane. I feel like he's always been the best skill champion as well, and this dude is just going nowhere because it can be on defense, it can be on attack. He always has a use, and he is the 3rd best Ascension, maybe 3rd best champion in the game even, right? But number 2, of course it's Hulkling. A monstrous attacker and defender. He really just does have it all, and he is just so insane. I feel like he is not only the 2nd best Ascension, but he is the 2nd best champion in the game. I feel like he is honestly that good. He is so valuable on both attack and defense, and having more stats added to him makes him a harder defender, makes him a better attacker as well, so that reach will be even higher. It would just be silly, right? And Hulkling is just that good. No explanation needed. He is just that powerful. And same thing for number 1, which of course is Hercules. The one regret that Gabam has probably because this dude just ruined everything. He is just that good. He is Hercules. The best attacker in the game. The best, at everything, because look at him. He's perfect. He has the looks. He has the gameplay. He has the damage output. He has the utility. He's Hercules, right? He's super cool as well. He has a great backstory. He's just like the craziest champion out there, right? And on defense, an Ascended Hercules will be kind of nasty as well because the Infuriate is really infuriating, and that health pool as well is pretty massive. So he will just be a great 2-way champion, but especially on attack, he will just be, himself. He is just that powerful, right? So yeah, Hercules, easily number 1. No explanation needed. He is just obviously the best Ascension option by far. So yeah, that is my top 15 Ascensions. Hopefully this helps you, and I might make a part 2 where I do the top 15 underrated champions to ascend because there are so many in the game, right? So having like a list like that should be pretty dang fun. But yeah, let me know your thoughts on this list. Who would you say is top 15 worthy? Because I know there are a ton of champions that I did leave out. So let me know your thoughts on that. And yeah, that's about it for me.